Hello, welcome and namaste. This is Moksha Mukti Apollo giving you talks spontaneously arising in his consciousness out of nowhere. I don't see who joined and who didn't join today because I turned around the camera. So I have no idea who is here, who is not here. Only what I know is if you put a comment. I don't see who joined and who didn't join today because I turned around the camera. So only way Moksha Mukti knows is that if you put a comment here. And that's the only way Moksha Mukti will know, is that if you put a comment here. And today's topic is, let's explore the source of the happiness within. The source of the happiness is already within you. It is not out there. It is not outside. It's already within you right now in this present moment. So you can put a comment here, and if you have any questions, comment here, put a comment here. We are exploring the source of the happiness. We're not interested in defining what is happiness. We're not interested in defining how to get happiness. We're not interested in defining what is the source. We are interested in defining, we are interested in exploring the source of the happiness now in this present moment. We are interested in exploring the happiness in the present moment, in this ever perpetuating present moment. And today I have turned the camera around, so I have no idea who's there, who's not there. So if you are there, if you just joined, namaste. This is Moksha Mukti Apollo giving you talks or pointing you to see the source of the happiness within right now in this ever perpetuating present moment, in this moment. So if you're out there, put a comment, type it up, ask questions. Moksha Mukti is here to take questions and point you to the source of the happiness. Because what is happening now is the expression of the existence. Moksha Mukti is expressing the expression of the existence. And in the reality, existence expressing itself. Who is here? You will say Moksha Mukti is here. Even Moksha Mukti will say Moksha Mukti is here, because that is the way of putting into language. That's the way we are taught. So what is your source? The happiness is not out there. Happiness is already within you. What is your source? I'm just going to put a comment here. So we have, looks like we have Mary Beth Cameron. Hello Mary Beth, namaste. Thanks for joining. Today, in this moment, Moksha Mukti is speaking about exploring the source of the happiness together. And he's here to point you to the source. So if you're interested, you can ask questions. You can put a comment here so he can point you to the source of the happiness. Because the source of the happiness, you have to be careful. I have chosen this word precisely. Source of the happiness within. What is that? What is that? And so let's explore together. Moksha Mukti is here to point you to the source of the happiness. Happiness is within you, it is not outward. All the happiness that you think that can make you happy are conditional happiness, stem from outside, is not happiness. Those are conditional happiness. Because one thought can make you happy, and then next thought can make you unhappy. In the conditional happiness, one single thought can make you happy, and next single thought can make you unhappy. Because that's a conditional happiness. Is dependent on outer environment. But the source is already within you. The source is already within you. Now what is happening is your thought is here. And thought is constantly telling you what to do. Thought is constantly saying negative things. And thought is constantly analyzing. And thought is constantly happening on its own. See, because human beings are thought producing machine. And through thought, you will not know the source of the happiness. You will only know the conditional happiness. One thought will make you happy, next thought may make you unhappy. And if you chase outside, you'll exhaust. You will exhaust. Tired, you'll be tired. Anybody out there? Any comments, concerns, questions? In this moment, in this ever perpetuating present moment, Moksha Mukti is guiding you or pointing you to see the source of the happiness within. Where is that source? He is not interested in knowing what is happiness. He is not interested in knowing what is the source. Well, he's not interested in knowing the definition. He is interested in knowing experience. So experiencing the source of the happiness. Any questions, comments, concerns? So today I have no idea who's out there. I don't see how many people are watching because I've turned the camera around to give you a better picture. But I have a little machine here that lets me see who puts the comment. So only way I can see you is if you put a comment or question, ask questions. So together we can explore the source of the happiness. And Moksha Mukti is here to point you to the source of the happiness. And only person that he can see so far is Mary Beth Cameron. And maybe she's no longer here on this platform, on this live streaming. We are exploring the source of the happiness. Moksha Mukti is here to point you. So if you're watching and there is no comment, no questions, that means you are already happy and you know the source of the happiness. You have recognized the source of the happiness and you are already happy. Only way. Oh, okay. Alright, we have someone here, David Riley. Hello, David. Namaste. Thanks for joining. And David Riley writes, why do I allow my feelings to actually be so affected by the hurt I see all over the world? And how do I get to the point of opening my eyes and see the things I see on my sleep? And that's a very good questions, David. Thanks for sharing your questions. Thanks for sharing your feelings. Certainly, all the hurt that you see all over the world stem from the dance of quantum of the universe. Just like if you look in the ocean, sometimes the ocean is calm, serene. Sometimes there's a ripple. Sometimes there's a wave. Sometimes there are big waves, tides, and sometimes hurricane. And all the hurt, joy, pain, pleasure, all that you experience or see are the dance of the quantum of the universe. Universe is dancing and you're receiving data through your five senses. Your mind is interpreting as this hurt, as this pain. And even if you look at the big picture, all the hurt, all the pain, all the trouble are only small percentage of the world. 90% of the people, if you look at that way, 90% of the people are happy. Only 10% of the people have problems, have hurt. if you look at that way. And you want to know, how do we get to the point of opening my eyes and see the things I see on my sleep? Well, David, we need to explore. Let's explore this together. Moksha Mukti is not here to tell you. He is here to point you for exploration together. So, the things that you see on the sleep is happening because in the reality, the things that you see on the sleep is a dream, and so is this. The awakening or the waking up state is also a dream, a concrete dream, more powerful than the one you see in the sleep, because the one you see in the sleep is temporary, and this waking state is the powerful dream. It is a concrete, it is solid, it has a relationship, it has many things, you see, and it appears real. Yet this is still a dream, still a sleep. So that's one distinguish. And when you see that this waking state and that sleep dream, and then you have a possibility to waking up from this state of dream or the waking up. You see, you have the possibility of waking up in this state, and when you wake up from this state, all of this becomes what? It becomes a dream. Then you wake up. Just like while you're on the sleep, let's say a lion is chasing you from all over there are 4 lions in each corner. And you're scared. You want to run away, and you're actually running away in the sleep. You're going like this. You're trying to chase running, but in the sleep you can't move, so you just maybe going like this, and your heart is actually beating. You are scared, really scared, because heart is beating fast. But the moment you wake up, what happens? All of this, hey, I was just dreaming. Similarly, in this waking state, when you wake up from this, all of this becomes dreaming. Well, that's just a talk, right? But let's just explore. See yourself within. Explore yourself within. And when you see the source of the happiness that is distracted by your thoughts, and not give so much attention to the thought but to the source within, in there is a possibility of creating miracle. There is a possibility of waking up. There is a possibility of seeing what you're asking me to see. Just like you can see things in your sleep, you can see the same exactly thing while you're waking up. And all the hurt, all the pain, all the war, all this will dissolve from your mind. Yet, there are people suffering, and you also suffer. Everyone suffers in this human form. There is no way out of this. And Moksha Mukti has said this on different occurrence, that this suffering is real, and it is only physiological suffering, and it is only actually 10% of your suffering. 90% of your sufferings are psychological. It is not physiological. And when you see the source, when you recognize that, those 90% of the psychological suffering, pain, falls off. Yet people are suffering on the planet. 90% of the suffering are psychological. Anyway, I hope that helps. But what Moksha Mukti is pointing today is pointing you to see the source of the happiness within you. Where is that source? Where is your happiness stemming from? And he's not here to define happiness. He's not here to define the source, but actually seeing the source from your own experiencing. Any other questions, comments? David, are you there? How are you doing? Anyone else? Because Moksha Mukti cannot see how many, because I have turned the camera around to give you a little bit better picture, so I don't see who is there, who is not there. Only way I know you're there is through if you write a comment. So I think that David writes again. David Riley writes, so when I dream and then I have a dream that actually come true like deja vu, I know I did not spell it right. It is very chilling when this happens. Well, there is no surprise when you dream. Sometime the dream come true. There is no surprise in that. But what's that got to do with you? Because what is happening this is all quantum dance of the quantum in the universe, just like the waves, ripples, tides, hurricane comes on the waves on the ocean. Similarly, this is happening in the universe. And if you look at the statistics, that this doesn't happen often. Deja vu does not happen often. It happens sometimes, and it may happen more for one person, may not happen more for the other. You see, because this is how you're conditioned, this is how you're interpreting your mind. There are many dynamics, there are many variables that is going on. You see, and why are you interested in that? This is Moksha Mukti giving live talks. He is pointing you to the source of the happiness. That is the exploration. Together, we're exploring together to see the source of the happiness in this ever-perpetuating present moment. But if you have any questions, comment, concern, like David Riley did, you're welcome to ask questions, and Moksha Mukti will point you. David Riley writes again, good fourth X minutes. I appreciate your words. Well, no problem. Moksha Mukti is here. This is the expression of the existence. Expressing. Oh, David is back again. Spell check. I'm sorry. I appreciate your words of wisdom. I remember many times I would be thinking of someone and they call unexpectedly, or I call them and they will say, I was just thinking of you. Perhaps that is the telepathy. So a lot of people speak of telepathy because, and that happens, it happens because we're all connected. We're all one. There is no separation. That's why you are able to do those things. But majority of time, what is happening is we are all distracted by our own thoughts. You see? We're all connected. We're all one. There is no separation in the reality. There is a separation in our perception because there is a mental instrument that you have that sees everything separate. There is a camera, there is a microphone, there is my iPad here, here's a guitar here, there is a suitcase, there is a door. Behind me is a curtain. I'm wearing this nice orange sash. I've been getting compliment on that. You see, all these things that we see, the separateness is perceived by the mind because that's the instrument we have, right? David Riley writes again, so is there really such thing as but feeling? I follow mine all the time. Well, David, feeling is actually a thought, a subtle type of thought, because it's a little bit different than the thought because there is a sensation in the body. Yet it is still, feeling is still a thought. Well, gut feeling, whatever you want to call it, that is still a thought. Maybe the thought is arising from the body. There is a mind in the body. You see, even the body is tremendously intelligent. Human body is tremendously intelligent, and mind insult the intelligence of human body all the time. Maybe you say gut feeling, that is coming from your body. You see, thought is coming from your body. You see, or the intelligence or the communication is happening from the body, is telling you. And it happens to Moksha Mukti. You see, the body tells me what to eat, what not to eat. And Moksha Mukti does not eat meat. He does not drink alcohol. And it's been that way for over 7 years. You see, because Moksha Mukti's body tells him. So body is tremendously intelligent. And Moksha Mukti is here in this present moment. And someone just joined, Anthony Wagner. Hello, Anthony. Namaste. Thanks for joining. Anthony Wagner writes, what do you have to say about time? Does it really exist? Time exists in your mind. It exists in your mind. is the creation of the mind or the thought. And it is created to serve a purpose in our society, to function in the society. You're going to meet me at this time, at this place, at this time, this day. You see, your loan payment is due on this day. You see, those are all created by the thought to function in the society. In the reality, there is no time, because what is happening is the past, present, and future is happening now simultaneously. But humans are too busy, distracted by the thoughts, do not see that. And then David Riley writes, thank you, you're welcome. Welcome, David. Thanks for joining. Moksha Mukti is here in the present moment, in this ever-perpetuating present moment. Present moment. You see, everything is happening now in the reality. Past is happening now, future is happening now, present is happening now. Everything is happening in the present moment. You see. But we are taught to think linearly. In the linear thinking, there is a past happened previously, there is a present now, and there is a future. That is the product of linear thinking. All human beings are taught to think linearly. However, we are human beings. We are naturally a dynamic thinker. Thoughts are happening dynamically. Everything is happening dynamically. And it could happen. A thought can arise out of nowhere. You see, even in this present moment, because you can get distracted by the thought can arise. Because thought is happening on its own and you just observe the thought. It arises. And thought is distracting you. And it has a function, it has a purpose here to function in the society. Memory is there, stored in the memory. There's a trillions of data stored in the tiny space in the memory here, and that comes up, pops up, reminds you to, reminds you to do something. It reminds you that, well, so and so, I just have a conversation with David. David was typing, and then Anthony came. Those all stored in the memory. And we have Krista Shea Lane. Hey, I'm doing my best to pronounce your name here correctly here. Krista Shea Lane. Thanks for joining, Krista Shea. Namaste. This is Moksha Mukti Apollo. Thanks for being here in this present moment. And Krista Shea writes, what do you have to say about past lives? Well, why do you worry about past lives? Why do you worry? Everything is happening. This is all cycle that is happening. You see, when this human body no longer needed on the planet Earth, this human body will be recycled. Is recycled. This energy will be used, taken away someplace else. This will be used someplace else. Fortuitous concourse of atoms. When the universe needs atoms or quantum from this body somewhere else, immediately, even I'm sitting here giving talks, you'll take it away and place those atoms there. So everything is recycling. So you past life, this, that, why do you worry? Oh, Krista Shea writes, I said it right. Well, Moksha Mukti is what is happening here is happening here. There is no distraction from the thought. He is in the natural state of being, and he is expressing the expression of the existence, just like it is, the way it is. And you're there interpreting by your mind. Otherwise, there's just the noise coming out of here, and the mind is interpreting. So, anyway, thank you. And yesterday, like when Moksha Mukti was giving talks, someone said that, well, it gave me like instruction. Well, this person wrote a comment, instruction. Well, he said, well, you gotta breathe, don't worry, do like that, then that is your happiness. See, now when you have to give yourself instruction, that is not happiness. That is not happiness. When you have to give yourself instruction, because happiness stems on its own. See, that is the true happiness. That is the natural happiness. And that person, said, breathe normally or something, If that helps you, that's fine. But that is not the happiness. That is not the true happiness. That is not the natural happiness that you're looking for. You see, in the present moment, when you see the source, when you recognize the source, the source itself will guide you, and all the breathing, everything becomes natural. And in natural state, is there a pain? Yes, there is a pain. Moksha Mukti has said this in different occasions, many times. Pain is part of who you are. The suffering is part of who you are. Everyone suffers. However, there is two types of suffering. One is physiological, real suffering, and the second suffering is psychological. Even psychological suffering can harm your body. You see. So now we have Ali Moonflower Rose Bear. That name seems familiar. I think she was here before. Hello, Ali Moonflower. Namaste. Thanks for joining. You see, so there is no suffering psychologically. But 90% of the psychological suffering, humans are just burdening themselves. And Moksha Mukti is here to point to you that is just the illusion. Yet, that is powerful illusion, makes you believe and actually may hurt you. You see. We have Vinayak PK. Hello, Vinayak PK. Namaste. Thanks for joining. You see. But why do you want to burden yourself with the psychological suffering? Physiological suffering cannot be avoided. But psychological suffering can be avoided. You don't need psychological suffering. Those are stem from the thought. It is artificial. You see. See, the breathing in and out is happening naturally. I don't need to, Moksha Mukti does not need to tell him, breathe normally. Or do not worry. You see, when you recognize the source guides itself, makes it natural for you. So of course there is no worry. And you only worry about things that you can control. And do not worry about things that you cannot control. You see. And that is happening. And people are, throughout the world, they are suffering because they are worrying about things that they cannot control. You see. So any questions, comments, concern? Today Moksha Mukti is here to guide you or point you to explore the source of the happiness within. Where is that stemming from? And there are people here asking me different questions. You're welcome to ask different questions, but what we're doing, what we're experiencing is just the experiencing what is now. Experiencing what is now, you see. And some people may call that happiness, but in the reality, happiness, the source of the happiness and the sadness, they're the same. So he wants you to explore that, see within, where is that source, experience that, you see. But here in the present moment, this present moment is ever perpetuating. See, the breathing is happening naturally on its own. Breathing is happening on its own. Don't need to tell myself, breathe this way, that way. Don't worry. No need to tell myself that. Because when you need to tell yourself, do this, do that, that means there is a problem. Because, you see, that is not natural. But to function in the society, you may have to use instruction. You may have to use knowledge. You see. Those things are all happening to function in the society as a group of people to share the resources. You see, otherwise there will be war. Any questions, concerns, comments? Otherwise, just Moksha Mukti will be speaking, and he can speak like this all day. There is no problem, but we want to explore together. You see. Right now the sensation of thirst is happening. Like mouth is kind of dry. But the body is intelligent. It itself knows how to fulfill the thirst. Maybe short period of time. Not for long though, Like after a while the body will be dehydrated, But the short period of time, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, depending on each individual, the body has the ability to take care of itself. It's a self-sustaining mechanism that is in place. Now we have John Forey. Again, I'm trying the best to pronounce your last name. John Forey, namaste. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining. And John Forey writes, positive and negative thoughts, can you explain them? The thought, you say this thought is positive and this thought is negative, first of all, is defined by how you're conditioned in which society. Some society, one negative thought could be positive in the different society. And some society, positive thought could be negative in other society. So depending how you're conditioning, right? So those are all conditioned from the culture that imposed those conditions on you. So one thought says negative, one thought says positive. You see. But in the reality, there is no negative, there is no positive thoughts. But the thought is dual, so it appears as some sort of this type of thought and appears as that type of thought. And society will tell you, don't think negative, think positive. You see. But what Moksha Mukti is pointing, when you recognize the source that is within you, that everything is stemming from there, even negative thought, positive. When you recognize the source, you don't need to tell yourself think negative, think positive. So we have Nikki Buru Ano. So I'm trying to best to pronounce your name, Buru Ano. Nikki. Hello, Nikki. Namaste. Thanks for joining. Today, Moksha Mukti is here in this ever-perpetuating present moment, pointing you to the source of the happiness within. Experience the happiness. He's not interested in defining the happiness. He's not interested in defining the source of the happiness, but experience that source of the happiness. What is that stemming from? You see, and in order to do that, you'll need to put your attention not to your thoughts so much, but to your inner source. Then we have Paige Arts. Hello, Paige. Namaste. Thanks for joining. Paige Arts writes, guiding tips for inner peace. Are you asking Moksha Mukti, am I guiding to your inner peace? No. No, Paige. What Moksha Mukti is doing is pointing you to the source of the happiness for you to see and experience. See the source. He's not promising you inner peace. He's not promising you inner happiness. He's only pointing you to the source of the happiness, where the happiness is stemming from. And in that source, you may experiencing all that. Inner peace, inner happiness, you may experience that. But he's not promising you anything. He's just pointing you to the source. Then Vinayak PK writes, do you practice Kundalini meditation? No. Those are all artificial. All sorts of meditation, Kundalini, that meditation is just artificial. Moksha Mukti does, he is in natural state of being, and the meditation, he is meditating 24 hours, 7 days a week. Looks like I only have battery for 10 more minutes, 10%, to see all your answer, 10%. So I may have to get an extension and put a cord here, so otherwise the battery is gonna dead, right? So yeah, Moksha Mukti do not do any prescribed meditation. His meditation is natural meditation. He's meditating 24 hours, 7 days a week, right? So all right, let me just get the extension cord so our battery does not die. Okay, all right, I'm back here, putting this cord here so the battery doesn't die, so I can read your comments. And see, these are all present moment, this is all dynamics, you see. And I have to open this here, put a tape here, and how does this, oh, there it is. Alright, now plug this in here. Bada bim, bada bang. You know, some people call it like that, right? Well, our battery is charging, so you don't have to worry about battery being dead. But this is part of the functionality created by the linear thought to help us function in the society so that we can function, right? Otherwise, what happens? The iPad would have been out of battery, and I wouldn't be able to see what you're typing, and you see, and there will be no communication. So this is all part of the dynamism created by the thought to function in the society. But if you put too much attention in the thought, that will eat up your energy, you see, then it leaves you no room for you to see the source. So what is happening on the planet is people are hungry of power, hungry of energy, to use the energy to see the source, because they have wasted They have expended all the energy on thinking, and that exhausts them. That's tired, and they are looking for peace. So-called peace is the economizing of the energy. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Those of you who just joined, this is Moksha Mukti Apollo. Namaste. He is here expressing the expression of existence in the present moment, and he is pointing you to see the source of the happiness within. And he is probably gonna spend here another half hour on this forum, and he has other obligation he has to do. Any other questions, comments, concerns? We have a Ben Bauman. What is the orange thing? Hello, Ben. Namaste. Thanks for joining. This is what they call is a shash. This energy. This is shash. Do you like it? And we have Tina Inayat. She's bringing a lot of negative energy. You see, if she is a Christian, if you are a Christian, you would not bring negative energy. You see, Moksha Mukti here pours the positive energy. It's so-called energy, right? And he is not condemning any religion. He's not against any religion. He even said in different occasions that Jesus Christ is already within you. Jesus Christ himself said that he is already within you. So if you want to, to say, all those things like, 5 years down to 3, like, do I care? I don't care how many viewers are there. You see, when the energy bursts, viewers will come in. He doesn't care. So anyway, move along. So we have Ben Bowman again. Very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Then we have Crystal Shea Lane. What are your thoughts on chakras? Crystal Shea, I think the chakras are imagination. Imagined by people. It's a product of the thought. But a lot of people practice it. If that helps you, go for it. But Moksha Mukti does not practice any chakras, does not practice any kundalini, does not practice any of those. You see. He's here in the present moment, exploring, pointing you to see the source of the happiness. Seeing the source of the happiness. Where is that stemming from? Not defining by what you read in the book, not defining what someone told you, but seeing yourself with your own eyes. You see, experiencing that. And what better joy is to experiencing your source within you than, anything else. Well, you don't need to remind me what's good luck. Thank you. Thank you, though, Moksha Mukti does not care if there even one viewer. This becomes satsang, or true association. When Moksha Mukti speaks, someone is listening. Even this microphone is listening. Even this iPad is listening. Even the birds, the trees outside listening. When Moksha Mukti used to give satsang talks, right there, out of nowhere, there is a flower plant that bloomed out of nowhere on the concrete. A flower plant. That means even the flower is listening to Moksha Mukti. So even there is no viewer, everything is listening, because this is the expression of the existence. And when this existence is expression, there will be bound to See, you cannot hide this. You cannot hide this. And those who see this are attracted to this. And what Moksha Mukti is pointing, whatever he has within you, you already have that within you also. You see? Now what is happening there is you are distracted by your own thought, this, that, and the other. Well, how many viewers, how many this, how many that, how many, you are distracted by your own thought and you do not see the source. You see? We have Casey Grace. Hello, Casey Grace. Namaste. Thanks for joining. She writes, hello, good day, blessings. Well, blessings to you. Today, Moksha Mukti is here in the present moment, exploring the source of the happiness that is already within you. Experiencing that, seeing that. And he's here to point you in this present moment. So if you don't have any questions, comments, concern, Moksha Mukti will step out because he needs to drink some water. So I'll just bring a glass of water and I'll be right back. So just hang in there. It takes me about a few seconds. Got my water. And here's the water. Cheers. Who else joined here? We have Chastity Gwent Oaks. Hello, Chastity. Thanks for joining. Namaste. Oh, she's from Canada. Hello, we have international people here. How are you? Today's Moksha Mukti is pointing to the source of the happiness that is already within you. He is pointing you to see the source of the happiness within. Exploring that happiness now in this present moment. Any questions, comment, concern? Otherwise he's just speaking, expressing the expression of the existence. You see. We have Shivaji Parker. If I mispronounce your names, I'm just doing my best, and it's a very small letter to read. Hello, Shivaji. Namaste. Thanks for joining. What's your aim of life? Happiness, just curious. Shivaji, Moksha Mukti sees that is the product of the thought, what you're asking. There is no really aim of life. Aim of life is created by the thought to serve a purpose in this synthetic reality created by humans. And in there, happiness is defined by the condition of the society. What society brought you up is defined. Happiness is defined by that. But today, we're here to see beyond that. We're here to see the source of the happiness. Where is the happiness within you? You see. And when you see the source, when you recognize the source, you don't need to search for happiness. And he's pointing you to see the source within you. Explore the source now in this present moment. John 4 is back. The mind can also play tricks on you with negative thought, correct? Well, John, mind always plays tricks on you. You see, that is the nature of the mind, to play tricks on you, and it's playing tricks on you for 90% of the time. 90% of the time it is playing tricks on you. You see, that is the nature of the mind. You see, it is happening on its own. You see, and thought is happening on its own. And that is the nature of the thought to do that. It's playing tricks on you. You see. And people, humans, believe in the thought, and that is, that is causing them the problem. You see. Because thought is what is happening. Thought is happening on its own. The moment you eat food, that produces energy, and the thought is produced by the food. You see, it is happening on its own. You have no idea what you're going to think next. You have no idea what thought will come next. Even Moksha Mukti does not know what thoughts come next. Because that is happening dynamically, it is happening spontaneously, and it is happening on its own. And positive thought, negative thought is defined by the society, defined by the culture, defined and conditioned, or those conditions are imposed upon you. And 90% of the thought that arises, 90% of the thought that human thinks, all humans think, are negative, are fascist, are cruel. 90% of the thought, because that is the nature of the thought. You see, and that thought will exhaust you. And what Moksha Mukti is pointing is, do not put your too much attention on the thought, at least while you're here, even for 1 minute, 2 minutes. Do not put the attention on the thought, just put your attention on the source. Just by, I don't really want to say do not, just say put your attention to the source. You see, because if I tell you something, then that becomes instruction. I'm not here to give you instruction. We're exploring this together. So together, give your attention to the source and see the source of the happiness. Chastity Gwynth Oaks writes, do you believe in law of attraction? Law of attraction. I think it's true. Law of attraction is that whatever you imagine in your mind, that will become true. So if you imagine you living in the big house for many, many years, that imagination may become true. And if you imagine you're living in a small house, and that imagination may become true. See, that is happening, right? And even to think those thoughts is not in your control, you see. But if you imagine you're living in a big house, having a big money, that will become true, because you see, whatever in your mind will become reality. Because what you create in your mind, that is your reality. But he's not so much worried about what is in the mind. He's pointing you to see the source of the happiness. What is that within you? To see the source. Recognize the source. Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah, that is the nature of the thought. Jekyll and Hyde. It's duality. It's dual. There's night and day, hot and cold, right and wrong, bad and good. All those is the product of the thought. But in reality, 90% of thought are so-called bad thoughts than good thoughts. If you take a note. Then we have Shivaji Parker, I can't really make out here, but Shivaji, Moksha, you have a good name. Do you know the significance of Moksha? Just asking, since you had in your name, I am quite religious and I have quite different opinion from yours. Moksha Mukti is not here to give you opinions. Moksha Mukti is not here to talk about religion. He is here to point you to the source of the happiness today. Where is the happiness stemming from? He certainly knows what the name Moksha means. He certainly knows what the Mukti means. He certainly is aware of the religion, but he's not here giving talks about religion. This is not religion. This is about you. You're experiencing the source of the happiness now in this present moment. Then we have Tina Open. Hello Tina, namaste, thanks for joining. The power of positive thinking. The power of thinking. There is a power of positive or negative thinking. You see, there's a power of Hitler's thinking. You see, there's a power of Alexander the Great thinking. There is a power of all sorts of thinking, negative or positive. You see, because thought is powerful. Illusion. It is still an illusion. Thought is an illusion. Yet it is a powerful illusion. You see. Shivaji writes, okay, thank you. You're welcome. And when you recognize the source within you, you see, you don't even have to worry about, well, am I thinking positive or am I thinking negative? See, all the thought that is happening. See, Moksha Mukti is here, been here a few minutes. You see, you can see yourself that he's not trying to think positive thinking. But most of you will say what he says are positive things. Otherwise, you wouldn't even be here, right? So you don't even need to worry about positive or negative thinking when you recognize the source. Then we have John Forey writes, I walk with Jesus Christ, have peace in that. Well, whatever makes you peaceful, whatever makes you happy, walk with the Jesus Christ, walk with the Moksha Mukti, walk with your friend John, walk with your wife, if you have one, that's all, that's your reality. And there is nothing wrong with that. But here, now, in this present moment, what we are doing is we are exploring the source of the happiness. What is that stemming from? Tell me from your own experiencing. Tina Open, wonderful. We all need a reminder or a guiding light. Well, Moksha Mukti is here to point you. He's pointing into the source. The source is already within you now, not in the past, not in the present, not in the future, but now in the present moment. And explore. Use this moment to explore the source of the happiness within you. Use your energy, use your attention to see the source within you now. That's all he's pointing. Tina Open writes, Namaste, blessing of lights and light. Namaste. What Namaste is saying is, whatever I have in me, you have in you. That is the Namaste. There is no separation. Whatever Moksha Mukti has, whatever Moksha Mukti says, you already know it, you already have it. The difference between here and there is you are distracted by your thoughts. You are distracted by your thoughts. And he's pointing you to put your attention, put your energy into the source. And while you're trying to do that, are thoughts going to distract you? Yes, they're going to distract you because they're powerful. But keep putting effort to the source. And you'll experience. Whatever experience, report back to me, then I can point you deeper. And we're exploring in this together. Moksha Mukti is not telling you anything. Any other questions, comment, concerns? And this is all happening live now in this present moment. You see, present moment. You see, experiencing the present moment, here and now. It's ever perpetuating. Shivaji writes, what makes you to come and live stream here taking your time. Shivaji, this is the existence expressing itself. And when the expression happens, it happens. You see. Just like why does a meteor comes in the sky? Why does a flower bloom? Why does a sunshine happens? Why does rain happens? Why does snow fall? You see, it's the expression of the existence expressing itself. Syed Nabel Hassan. Hello, Syed. Namaste. Thanks for joining. What Namaste stands for? Syed, there are many different meanings of Namaste, but what Moksha Mukti sees Namaste as whatever I have in me, you have same exactly thing. And he's been saying this. Whatever of what Moksha Mukti is saying, you already know that, because whatever I have in here, you have the same exact thing. And he is here today, in this present moment, pointing you to see the source of the happiness within you. Where is that stemming from? We are exploring together. Explore that happiness. Put your attention to your source and see the source and recognize the source. And tell me the source from your own words, not what you read, not what you told someone else. See this now in your own experiencing. You see. See, body already knows itself to calm itself down. It knows. Body has tremendously intelligent. Body is tremendously intelligent. It knows everything. It knows how to sustain itself. But what is happening is that your own thought is distracting you. Thought is distracting you. Thought thinks you are powerful. Thought thinks I am powerful. Body, you shut up. I am more powerful. I can put a rocket into moon. You see. I can make a car. I can make a ship. I can make a tall buildings. I am powerful. Body, shut up. You see. That's what thought tells you. Side, we're not interested in knowing the scientific reason behind what Namaste means. Namaste is whatever I have in me is you have the same thing. That's exactly what it is. And we're not here to interested in that right now. What we're doing is we're exploring the source of the happiness. Where is that stemming from? He's pointing you to the source of the happiness, your happiness. Where is that coming from? We have Tina open. Just need to somehow calm and organize my scattered thoughts and learn to live in the moment. I think and worry about everything and end up exhausting myself. I have a very overwhelming situation in my life, so I am trying to take it minute by minute and one day by a time. Yes, take it 1 minute at a time. Do not be overwhelmed. Take it minute by minute. See the source within you first. Where is that stemming from? All your activities, first of all, are they necessary? You'll be surprised. Not all the activities that you think are necessary aren't necessary. You see. And sometimes, yes, situation like this create, just like the hail comes, all of a sudden, tornado comes, hurricane comes. You see, those things may come in your conscious. All this appearance appears, and it also disappears. There's appearance and disappearance of everything in the consciousness. Just like in the ocean, there's a serene, you see, calm, and then ripple happens, then the wave happens. You see, all this happening, the dynamics of the existence that is happening, you see. And thought is creating all that. You see, thought, if you put too much attention to the thought will create and exhaust, makes you exhausted, because thought is the power. It uses your power. It uses your energy, you see. And if you worry about things that you cannot control. But Moksha Mukti, he is not here to tell you, how to organize, how to do this. He's only pointing you to see the source of the happiness that is already within you. That itself knows. Once you recognize that, that itself will help you everything. You see, organize everything. Because a lot of times, you are over exaggerating, overreacting, overthinking. See, those are not really necessary. And well, of course, if you're overthinking, if you overdo something, that will eats up your juice, eats up your energy, right? If you put up too much gas on the car, eats up the gas. So if you you do too many activities, you have too many things to do, then certainly that will eat up your energy, and then you have no energy left to see the source of the happiness that is already within you. You see, because even that takes energy. And Moksha Mukti, what Moksha Mukti doing right now is saving the energy from the thought and putting attention to the source. So Said writes, exactly what we give this universe war accordingly. Perhaps. We have Tina open. I just got custody of my two great nephews that are 1 and 2 and have been through trauma, and I have raised babies in 17 years, and now I'm doing it alone, and I will do what I have to do for these babies, but I just didn't expect this, so I am trying to go to balance all. Yes, that is very challenging situation in your life that appears, you see. And there is something challenging situation appearing in Moksha Mukti's life right now, and he's not sharing. I'm not going to share my challenges. You see, there are challenges. I have to be somewhere at soon, very soon, and there's a challenging situation appearing. But you see, take it 1 minute at a time. Let the existing know. Maybe there are people who will help you. You see, be open. You see. And see the source. You see, when you recognize the source within you, then other will see you, and other will be maybe willing to help you. You see, there are a lot of organizations, a lot of people, a lot of institutions that help people in your situation. You see, but certainly you have a challenging situation. Even for 2 minutes, whatever you have time. See the source of the happiness, because happiness is not outward. You see, maybe you can find happiness in whatever you're doing. You see, I know people will have like several children. They're raising like 10-15 children. How did they do that? You see, you have to be in the moment, stay in the present. Don't think about the past. Don't think about the future too much. Well, of course, you think about something about the past now. Don't dwell in the past, and don't dwell in the future. That causes you anxiety. You see, stay in the present moment and take care of things, and that itself will balance it out for you. But that's certainly a challenging situation. I'm not denying that, but what I'm saying is, see the source of the happiness within you, and that itself will guide you. You see. Yeah, that's certainly challenging. 1 and 3. I remember my daughter. She was 3. Some people call that terrible 3. 1 is cute. 3 challenging. Of course, then if you have custodian, then you have to take care of the baby. You have to go to work. You have to earn a living. So those are all dynamics. You see, that is happening. You see. And you may have to go to different forum and talk about these things, but here in this forum, Moksha Mukti is talking about seeing the source of the happiness within this moment. You see. You're welcome, Tina. Tina writes, thank you. You're welcome. And sometimes you cannot take it seriously. You see, life.